Queen Camilla's only in the news again, and of course Kamala Harris was, because Camelopardus is at its closest to the pole. Camelopardus is its closest to the pole. It's the closest it ever gets to the centre of heaven. The cube, the white chapel, the white house, Polaris, that sits in the Milky Way, the throne of God, the mountain of God in the north, the mountain of the Most High. It's all code and clues about this legal but not lawful system we live in, or live under. Camilla Parker Bowles. Bowl. Camilla Parker Bowles. Bowles. And Camilla Harris. Harris. They are representative of the asterism we know as Camelopardus today. Camelopardus sits below the bowl of heaven. Camel, low, paradise. The camel that sits below heaven, below the bowl. Camilla Parker Bowl. The centre of heaven is the eye of the needle. The centre of heaven is the North Celestial Pole. Do you remember Jesus said it would be easier for a rich man, a noble, to go through the eye of a needle than a camel, Camelopardus, to enter the kingdom of heaven, paradise? We are at that time of the year again, when the 12 houses and the celestial asterisms, they seem to sink below the horizon. Most cannot see them, as does the sun. This is the time of the dying of the sun, and the 12 disciples scattering. The Camelopardus is an asterism that sits in the northern hemisphere. It swoops below the celestial heaven, below the canopy of the tree, and it can be seen during November in the northern hemisphere. It doesn't sink down, but it chases the pole. In ancient times, and by many cultures, it was recorded in the northern skies around October and November, and it often accompanied with the aurora borealis, the northern lights, and it was seen as a celestial dance of this great dragon, which is of course Draco, and the bear, the boar, which is Ursa Major, and there were many wild creatures pictured, many beasts pictured in all these carvings. Orion's belt, the bar of heaven, including the camel, or the giraffe, also known as the Camelopardus, the camel that sits below heaven, that sits below paradise. Camilla, or Kamala Harishon, the word Rishon means the first in Hebraic thought. Harishon is the very first words, Bereshit, of the Bible. In the beginning, with the first, with the head. The First Lady Kamala, or the Queen, or maybe not. It's all the same stories reflected across the pond. The Camelopardus, or the Kamala, is the beast, one of many, which sits below the North Celestial Pole, the NCP. The NCP is where it sits, where it spins, but it never docks. It's worth noting, and those who live in Britain will know, the NCP are also a chain of car parks where you park your vessel or your vehicle. And these are always within the starports or the citadels of the cities, which are connected to a particular asterism or a house above. I have many videos on my channel showing different asterisms and different layouts of the cities above and below. Back to the parking of the placing of the camel. Where is this camel? Below paradise, heaven. Camilla Parker Bowles is a very important legal fiction, a name and part of the ancient lore. The North Celestial Pole and the asterisms surrounding it, the never-ending stars, the undying stars, those which circumvent the bowl of heaven, known as the circle in Gaelic, or the core of heaven, the core, the apple, the core of heaven. It is also known as the bowl, or the cauldron of the gods. Carl, meaning fire, pit, or furnace, a place to burn, hence the Gaelic word Cal-Adonia. The name Caledonia, which means the fire pit, or the celestial bowl of heaven, the bowl of El, the bowl of the gods of Elohim, the primordial world of the face of the deep, the Apsu, and the Peniel, and the birthplace of creation. See my many posts on Facebook about the Apsu, and I'll do some more videos on here. Camilla Parker Bowles reads a novel at bedtime. This is what we're seeing in the news. And this is just clear coding for us to look up to the heavens. We only really see the stories in the heavens at night time. She or he, Camilla Parker Bowles, Camel Apodus, whatever it is, will never get to sit on the true throne at the centre of heaven. She shall never be queen, and shall never be Queen of Scotland, just as Charles or William will never be king, for the people of Scotland are sovereign. But the Camel Apodus asterism never, ever, ever reaches into the centre of paradise, as we can see. Just as Jesus told us. Remember the story? Jesus told us it would be easier for a noble, for a rich man, for a lord, for a master, for a barrister, for a legalist to enter the kingdom of heaven than a camel. A camel. The camel never leaves the bar of heaven. It never ever takes the position in the centre of heaven, either the centre of the Milky Way, which is the White House, or the Whitechapel, the throne of God, the NCP, the North Celestial Pole. It never takes its seat. It misses it every time. The Dawn's been there, the great dragon, and the Dawn sits there, the great dragon bloodline today. But the camel misses every turn. You see, the level of the law is in the heavens, and all law flows or is manifest worldwide from this great tree and from the North Celestial Pole, the centre of heaven. The spine of Albion is the great tree, and the central belt, what we understand as Orion's belt, is the true law written literally for us in the heavens. And this is why today we are known as the British Isles. We are the Covenant Isles. This land is the level, the bar, and we are the covenant people. We are ancient and accepted, right? We are the covenant lands, the Brits, and all law comes from these lands by the secret bar society in London, Ella on Dawn, and all its dragglebloods. Because every story the world ever reads or ever hears comes from the great tree and from the canopy of the heavens over Albion. You see, it's the law. Everything we hear and everything we see in this realm is first Berosh, Harishon. Berosh is first delivered from the North Celestial Pole, which is the tree of life over all the earth. Everything is manifest first from the tree of life, the spine of Albion, especially so with our world news, all world events, and all that goes for trends, stories, and anything else that the Draco Bloods may want to use in their media as a medium or a source to tell us the news, north, east, south, west, which is really a telling or a retelling of the events in the heavens around the North Celestial Pole. Everything is broadcast from the mast, Britannia, Britannia, Britannia rose the waves. The North Celestial Pole, Polaris, the central pole, is the tree. This is why Camilla and her sister-in-law, Princess Anne, or the Britannia, the Brit Anna, are even mentioned at all. The universe, city degree or doctorate, are the angels or the angles in the heavens, and the Chancellor of the Exchequer in this news story is a reference to the Masonic drawing board and the two pillars of Masonry, the duality of life in the middle as seen as above, so below, and so played out in the news stories, north, east, west, south, as above, so below. Everything emanates from the North Central Pole, the North Celestial Pole. A month from now, the Santa, the Precious One, the claws, will open, and down his sack will he be coming. The very same pole. From the north, bearing gifts for all the little ones who have ears to hear and believe in such things. Psalm 48, verse 2. Beautiful for situation. The joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion on the sides of the north, the city of the great King. Don't forget to look up stuff. I win.